Bon, je m'en vais live.
There you go. Proof that you work.
That ain't proving nothing. How's it going?
Good yourself. Are you
Good.
going to be live?
I am now live. Speak of the devil.
Okay.
Proof that you work. Proof that you work.
Yeah, well, you know, I have a camera. I have to work every once in a while, right?
Yeah. What are you covering this for?
Freelance.
Okay.
Oui, je pense pas. Mais c'est comme d'écrire un peu.
Alors, bonjour tout le monde. Et donc, PCA, je vous souhaite la bienvenue, camarades, pour une 9e année consécutive et pour une 10e année consécutive à l'appel de la claque. On est réunis ici aujourd'hui à l'occasion du 1er mai, qui est la journée internationale de la classe ouvrière. On est réunis dans un esprit, comme le nom de la claque l'indique, dans un esprit de convergence des luttes anticapitaliste, des luttes des prolétaires, des luttes des exploités, des opprimés, des femmes, des peuples et de tous ceux et toutes celles qui souffrent de la domination du capitalisme, du patriarcat, du colonialisme, de l'impérialisme et de tous les produits de ce système-là, tous ceux et celles qui souffrent des guerres, de la misère, de l'appauvrissement, des destructions de toutes sortes, des destructions des êtres humains et celles des ressources nécessaires à la survie de l'humanité. Cette journée est célébrée mondialement et marquée par des actions et des manifestations. Le 1er mai, c'est bien sûr l'occasion de souligner nos luttes, nos victoires, celles du passé, nos luttes actuelles et celles à venir. C'est aussi le moment de manifester une fois de plus notre résistance aux attaques de toutes sortes que l'on subit quotidiennement, de la part des patrons, de la part de ceux qui se consacrent à défendre et à maintenir le système capitaliste d'exploitation et d'oppression qui est à la source de toutes les inégalités. Et le 1er mai, c'est pas seulement une journée de lutte comme les autres. Le 1er mai, ça ne sert pas seulement à dénoncer des décisions de tel ou tel patron en particulier ou à arracher des concessions à des gouvernements bourgeois. Le 1er mai, c'est certainement pas le moment de célébrer notre soi-disant fierté d'être Canadien ou d'avoir le Québec à cœur comme l'ont suggéré honteusement certains. Ce qu'on a à cœur aujourd'hui, c'est le sort des exploités et des opprimés, pas le sort des bourgeois, qu'ils soient québécois, canadiens, francophones ou anglophones. L'unité qu'on valorise et qu'on affirme aujourd'hui, c'est celle de notre classe. C'est l'alliance des travailleuses et travailleurs avec l'ensemble des opprimés, qu'ils soient ici ou d'ailleurs, et bien au-delà des frontières nationales. Ce qu'on exprime aujourd'hui, c'est une aspiration collective à mettre fin au capitalisme et à vivre dans une société où on va être libre de lutter et de mettre en place les mécanismes qui vont permettre de mettre fin à toute forme d'oppression et d'exploitation. Camarades, il n'y a pas de meilleur moment que le 1er mai pour exprimer cette aspiration collective, pour condamner le capitalisme et le pouvoir qui sert et incarne ce système-là, et aussi pour affirmer la nécessité historique et la possibilité de son remplacement. Notre haine de ce système, des dégâts qu'il cause, la course au profit, la collusion entre les grands détenteurs du capital est partagée par des millions et des centaines de millions de gens partout dans le monde. Notre colère est nécessaire et son expression est légitime. Le 1er mai, c'est une journée, c'est un moment, et ça fait aussi partie d'un mouvement beaucoup plus global qui est celui de l'ensemble des victimes des laissés pour compte du système capitaliste mondial. C'est donc un moment qui doit servir à bâtir, à solidifier, à renforcer et à étendre ce mouvement-là, de sorte à ce que nos aspirations deviennent un jour et le plus vite possible une réalité. Aujourd'hui, marchons ensemble, frappons ensemble, vive le 1er mai, vive la lutte contre le capitalisme et vive la révolution. Camarades, merci d'avoir répondu à l'appel de la convergence des luttes anticapitalistes. On se retrouve aujourd'hui, une fois de plus, dans le ventre du dragon, dans l'ombre de gratte-ciel abritant certains des pires crosseurs capitalistes au pays, voire au monde. On se retrouve au pied de statues faisant l'éloge des pires impérialistes. On se retrouve juste devant une des pires compagnies coloniales au Canada. On se retrouve entouré des pires hostiles pourris de l'histoire occidentale. On se retrouve pour célébrer le 1er mai, pour commémorer l'histoire, comme le disait le camarade, mais surtout pour regarder la tradition vivante, pour se rappeler que la guerre est loin d'être finie, qu'il reste encore de nombreuses batailles à mener pour la dignité et l'émancipation de toutes et tous les exploités partout sur la planète. Si on se rassemble encore chaque année le 1er mai, camarades, c'est pas pour se taper dans le dos et se féliciter des victoires passées, mais pour se rappeler qu'il faut continuer à se battre ici et maintenant. 125 ans après le début de la tradition du 1er mai, on se retrouve au centre d'une cité, au centre d'un monde, au centre d'un système qui est toujours aussi raciste, xénophobe, sexiste, homophobe, qui est toujours aussi violent envers les minorités et impitoyable envers les plus faibles. Un système qui s'appuie sur les ravages du colonialisme encore aujourd'hui, qui profite de frontières racistes, qui reproduit jour après jour un apartheid mondial. C'est un système qui détruit tout sur son passage, qui ravage, qui pille, qui viole, qui tue, qui anéantit des écosystèmes complets, qui ruine et décime des communautés sans le moindre scrupule. C'est un système qui est sourd et qui est aveugle à sa propre violence, qui ne reconnaît que sa propre logique comptable et sa seule quête maniaque de croissance infinie. C'est un système qui repose d'abord et avant tout sur l'exploitation des travailleurs et travailleuses, sur l'aliénation et la marginalisation des sans-emploi et des précaires. Des violences qui sont encore aujourd'hui subies le plus durement par les femmes et par les personnes racisées, à l'intérieur des frontières nationales comme à l'échelle de la planète. C'est un système qui cherche encore et toujours à nous diviser entre nous pour mieux régner. C'est un système qui nous tue a un nom, qui s'appelle capitalisme. Et les grosseurs qui nous font violence, eux aussi, ils ont des noms et ils ont des adresses. Ils sont tout autour de nous, qui nous regardent de haut. Mais camarades, n'oublions jamais que ces géants qui nous entourent sont au pied d'argile. Il n'en tient qu'à nous de les faire tomber. Camarades, est-ce qu'on va subir encore longtemps leur violence avant de nous révolter? Est-ce qu'on peut attendre encore longtemps avant de faire payer aux exploiteurs la violence qu'ils nous font subir? Camarades, il y a urgence d'agir. La peur doit changer de camp. Prenons la rue aujourd'hui la tête haute et le cœur enragé. Prenons la rue et gardons-la le plus longtemps possible pour faire comprendre aux capitalistes et à leurs valets que nous sommes partout, que nous sommes là pour rester, que nous sommes toujours plus nombreux et nombreux et que l'heure de la révolte a enfin sonné. Vive le 1er mai, avant le capitalisme! Qui sème la misère? Qui sème la misère? Qui sème la misère? Qui sème la misère?
Non, je comprends. Sure, mon back-up là. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Matt Damour of the Link newspaper and 99media.org. We are now live at the main May Day demonstration in downtown Montreal, leaving now from Phillips Square after hearing two brief speeches talking about the anti-capitalist ideology behind today's demonstration. We have a couple of hundred people gathered in Phillips Square, and we have other contingents all over the island of Montreal. So things are off to a quick start as we leave now Phillips Square, walking down Union. We do have a large police presence on the ground, police officers in riot gear, police vehicles, police officers on horses. And we have seen many vans which typically carry riot police officers circling the area. So we do know that there was another meeting point for this demonstration at McGill University, and we do seem to be headed in that particular direction. So we'll see if the two groups converge. Now on the intersection of Union and Maisonneuve, we do appear to have a police helicopter overhead and the first appearance of riot police officers on the ground. Taking a left off of Union onto de Maisonneuve, now heading west. And we do have a very large contingent of police officers on bikes just ahead on Robert Bourassa and de Maisonneuve. And more riot police officers here. We've got about over a dozen riot police officers here waiting on the intersection. And we do have now the riot police officers who are on the intersection of Robert Bourassa and de Maisonneuve are joining the path of the demonstration, flanking it on the sidewalk. So we've got about 24 riot police officers now following the path of the march, with many police officers on bikes following them. I'm going to move ahead now because I don't necessarily want to be in between the riot police officers and the march. You good? Coming up now to the intersection of de Maisonneuve and McGill College Avenue. Those who may recall last year, this is where things started to degenerate at the May Day demonstration, where riot police officers inserted themselves into the about the halfway point of the march, broke it up, and then fired tear gas to disperse the demonstration. So you can see here just how numerous the riot police officers are. There's about 36 flanking the side of the march. I don't think I've seen this high a number of riot police officers in a demonstration before. At least not all gathered in one place. People taking a right now onto McGill College Avenue off of de Maisonneuve, heading north towards the gates of McGill where we know that there was supposed to be a gathering of another contingent for this May Day demonstration. Now passing President Kennedy and McGill College Avenue. Coming up now on Sherbrooke and McGill College Avenue. People taking a right now onto Sherbrooke. Just passing Victoria and Sherbrooke, continuing east. Riot police officers still in tow, and we have a lit flare from inside the demonstration. Now passing Robert Bourassa in Sherbrooke, continuing east. Calls from inside the crowd for everybody to stay grouped together. We can hear cheers now as the group recognizes Another contingent that is approaching from the east, heading west. Lots of black and red flags being waved in the distance as another contingent joins this May Day demonstration in downtown Montreal. So calls from inside the march for things to slow down as this other group converges. Riot police on standby. It appears that some of the riot police officers have broken off to the other side of the sidewalk to flank the march from the other side. We're now on the intersection of Union and Sherbrooke, a little bit north of our starting point, and now as this other group arrives to converge, the march continues south down Union, and riot police follow. So we now have a considerably larger demonstration as the two contingents have formed into one. So we have several hundred people now marching down Union southward. Beyond the riot police that we have here, we have a lot on standby on adjacent intersections. Coming up onto Maisonneuve and Union, the group appears to be taking a right back onto Maisonneuve. Hey. We appear to have a section here that's taking a left onto Robert Bourassa off of de Maisonneuve, but not everybody's following yet, and calls for everybody to stay grouped together. So some people took a left here, but the group appears to want to continue forward down to Maisonneuve in the western direction. Continuing west, coming up now to de Maisonneuve and McGill College Avenue. So we've gone around this block once before, and but there are calls for the march to continue forward, to continue westward. So far, we've not seen any riot police officers belonging to the SQ, Sûreté du Québec, although we did see some Sûreté du Québec officers at the start of the march. And that's a contrast to last year where we did see a large presence of riot police belonging to the SQ. John Cook remarking that Josh is rocking the baby blue today. Yeah, it's a good look for him. I'll tell him you approve, John. Taking a left now onto McGill College Avenue towards St. Catherine. So the first time that the march is heading back towards St. Catherine, now heading south. So we now have several hundred people, possibly close to about 500 or 600, now marching into downtown core, commemorating May Day in downtown Montreal. So far, the riot police have been very visible, but have not been interceding or have not been seen blocking off any intersections. Now we're coming up to the intersection of McGill College Avenue and St. Catherine. I believe that the group might try to take a right here onto St. Catherine into the commercial district of downtown. We have a group actually going the opposite way now, left. So on to St. Catherine, taking a left. So while the westward direction on St. Catherine is usually sought after by the protesters, they are moving east. Got a large group of riot police officers up ahead who appear to be mobilizing on the intersection of Robert Bourassa and St. Catherine. All the major storefronts are being guarded right now by police officers with their batons out. coming back towards Phillips Square, the starting point of the demo. Except now the group much more numerous and louder. So as far as I can see, we've got a couple of what appear to be eggs were just thrown at the BMO outlet, and there appears to be a small smoke projectile that was thrown, maybe just some vapor. But as far as I can see, I'll try to give you a better view of what kind of size we're looking at here. So we may have close to 1,000, maybe a bit more protesters right now. People taking a right on Union off of St. Catherine, heading south. And we've got a tent set up here, announcing that they have medics available here if anybody requires any sort of medical assistance. Continuing south down Union, passing the intersection of Cathart. So far, what we've seen since we left Phillips Square about half an hour ago, slightly growing contingent of people in the street. We had one group that left from Phillips Square, and then another contingent that was marching separately came and joined in. Now about 1,000 people in the street. That's just an estimate. We've seen a couple of flares get lit up, and I believe I saw some eggs being thrown at a bank, but beyond that, nothing too aggressive coming from either the protesters or the dozens of riot police officers who are following the path. Coming up now to the intersection of Union and René Lévesque. So just ahead now, for the first time today, we're seeing riot police officers form a line to try and block off a certain path. So riot police officers are now blocking, scratch that, they're now moving. So they were just temporarily stopping to see what the path was going to be. So people are now amassed on the intersection of Union and René Lévesque.
Well, say
So more people coming onto this intersection of Union and René Lévesque as the back end of the march gathers into the intersection. We've got a lot of riot police officers on standby. About 3 dozen by my count. We've got what is most likely possibly a media helicopter or a police helicopter hanging overhead. A lot of vehicles and police officers on bikes following the path of the march. People now starting up again, marching west now on René Lévesque. There's a light rain right now, but that hasn't dissuaded all these people from coming out. Forecast called for light rain all afternoon. Up until now, it's been tolerable. Crowd now taking a right off of René Lévesque onto Robert Bourassa, heading north. A lot of covered faces out here today, and in addition to covered faces, a lot of people wearing helmets. Among them members of the media who, having conversed with a lot of different members of the independent and student press, feel that they need to protect themselves by wearing helmets, and overwhelmingly the sentiment is that they need to protect themselves from police violence today after the experiences of May Day last year. Fuser, it's asking if I have a helmet. No, I don't. I just got my newly shaven bare dome, visible and vulnerable for all to see. Continuing on Robert Bourassa. I've overheard a couple of riot police officers now refer to somebody that they're looking for. So not sure if there was. So we've got a firework that was just set off. Had the telltale whistle and pop. So that's the first firework or firecracker that we've heard today. And we did have a flare that was set off, and what appeared to be either smoke or vapor bombs that were set off by protesters. Now passing the intersection of Robert Bourassa and St. Catherine, heading north still.
Il y a une meilleure.
coming up on Union, and de Maisonneuve still heading north. So since we started about 40 minutes ago, this has been the general area that we've stayed in around between McGill College Avenue and Union, near Phillips Square. So we have another firework or firecracker that went off, and the accompanying cheers from the crowd. Crowd passing the intersection of Robert Bourassa and de Maisonneuve, continuing north. Question here from Jin. C'est quoi qu'ils chantent au loin? What are they shouting further off? A variety of different things. We're hearing all sorts of anti-police and anti-capitalist slogans, anti-capitalist, things of that nature. Here we are now in front of different financial institutions. The crowd now stopping here at the intersection of de Maisonneuve and Robert Bourassa.
KPMG, valeur croissante. Thank you.
So the firm KPMG being called out by name as we stand here at the intersection by their building on Robert Bourassa and de Maisonneuve.
Anti-capitaliste!
And calls to keep moving forward, so we continue north on Robert Bourassa towards Sherbrooke. Intersection of President Kennedy and Robert Bourassa. So as we approach the 50-minute mark here, I'll do a few plugs. As always, please check out the linknewspaper.ca and 99media.org for more coverage of Montreal protests and other breaking news. And if you're not already, please follow me on Twitter at @Madamour. My Twitter handle is in the title of the stream. Any questions, comments, anything you'd like to say about today's events, May Day, the anti-capitalist movement, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on it, and I'll do my best to answer shortly. Now, on Sherbrooke, people taking a left. heading west now on Sherbrooke. Continuing west, coming up now on the intersection of McGill College Avenue and Sherbrooke. Josh, John likes your coat.
Well, John, thank you.
Josh says thank you.
John like my kilt?
John, do you like the kilt? I feel like a messenger. I'm passing like notes along in class.
It's amazing.
Do you like me? Yes, no, maybe. Passing the intersection of Middle College Avenue, so we're now heading further west than we have yet today. So continuing west on Sherbrooke. You good?
Yep.
So we've got a question coming in now by text, and I don't know if the texter is watching the live stream, but I will say the question is whether or not there have been any arrests. And as far as I can tell, there have been none. No police intervention so far, but again, impossible to see along the entire march, but I have not seen any police officers intervene inside the march or any angry shouts or screams indicating that police intervened at any point. Passing McTavish and Sherbrooke, continuing west towards Peel. Coming up on the intersection of Peel and Sherbrooke, going west. Been seeing a lot of that today. People wearing press badges being stopped by bystanders looking for an explanation of what's going on. That's always fun. It's good exercise for your summation skills. How can you pitch it in 15 seconds? How much information can you impart? We've got a couple of middle fingers being raised at the patrons of this particular hotel here.
Mondial de l'hôtellerie. Ça vous dit peut-être quelque chose, le Sofitel? Le Sofitel, c'est l'endroit où les bottes de l'hôtellerie viennent des logements immigrants. De l'autre côté de la rue, on a le deuxième club le plus important à Montréal, le club Montréal. Alors, d'un côté, on mange, on planifie comment dominer le monde. Puis de l'autre côté, on se fait décoter au Sofitel. Fait que quand on parle de l'importance du centre-ville, c'est des sites comme ici, le Club Mont-Royal et le Sofitel, des hosties de repas de 15 de grosseur. Anti-capitaliste! Anti-capitaliste! Anti-capitaliste!
And we do now have riot police officers moving towards the entrance of the hotel to reinforce it.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe ailleurs sur la planète au lieu de juste être dans le salon des gens. Quelque chose qu'on voit souvent.
We've got a lot of riot police officers now reinforcing the entrance of this hotel, the Sofitel Hotel, and we appear to have some kind of smoke or vapor bomb that was just launched, not by the police, but most likely by the protesters. But it's not tear gas or anything like that. Continuing west. What's that? There have been a couple of those like small vapor smoke bombs that have been set up. Okay. It's not tear gas or anything, but it's being launched by protesters. Okay. We've had about 3 or 4 so far. Right. Beyond that, I've just seen a couple of eggs being thrown at a bank branch.
Cool.
All right, after that short interlude in front of the Sofitel Hotel, we are now continuing west down Sherbrooke. Passing Drummond and Sherbrooke. Bear with me for a moment while I put my hat on. Getting a little chilly. Light rain continues in downtown Montreal, but it doesn't seem to be dampening the spirits out here as we come up to the 1 hour mark of this demonstration commemorating May Day, an anti-capitalist demonstration worldwide with quite a history in Montreal, especially a recent history given the events last year, which saw a very pronounced police crackdown in the streets. But so far, riot police, while present and numerous, have not interjected in the path of the march, and as far as I can tell, there haven't been any interventions, any arrests, or anything of that nature. Coming up now to Sherbrooke and Crescent, still continuing west. People appear to be taking a left now onto Crescent. I was anticipating that might be the case since we've got a lot of upper-class restaurants and bars on Crescent. So given the fact that the path of the march has so far taken us around some of the big-name banks, hotels, the path of the march now going towards the restaurant district of downtown Montreal. Heading south now on Crescent. Coming up now on the intersection of Crescent and de Maisonneuve. Natalia Blaster, everybody.
Anti-capitaliste. Anti-capitaliste. Anti-capitaliste.
The group appears to be continuing south on Crescent. Police officers blocking access on intersections, helping direct traffic as the group arrived here. Jin saying, thank you for streaming. Lives a little far, so couldn't make it. My pleasure. Happy to give you a glimpse. Continuing south, coming up on the intersection of Crescent and St. Catherine. So we've now passed the 1 hour mark of this May Day demonstration in downtown Montreal. Thank you very much for sticking with the stream. As always, please check out the link newspaper.ca and 99media.org for more coverage of Montreal protests and other breaking news. And please follow me on Twitter at Madamo. My Twitter handle is in the title of the stream. Coming up now on St. Catherine. The march now taking a right onto St. Catherine, going west. So for the first time now, since Phillips Square, the crowd is now on St. Catherine Street. Coming up now to Police Station 20. And we can see a lot of police officers at the entrance reinforcing the doors. Ça est un workout pour aujourd'hui, hein? Here we have the entrance of Police Station 20, heavily reinforced, police officers with the batons out. Okay, we've got some rocks being thrown, fireworks, eggs, a lot of objects being thrown at police right now, flares, more fireworks being thrown, so we are most likely going to have tear gas or rubber bullets thrown soon. You got me? And we've got the tear gas. Tear gas deployed on McCabe, St. Catherine. More deployed. Oh, that's the strong step.
Tear gas being released.
So we overheard police officers at the entrance of Station 20 saying that some rocks were being thrown. We then saw some eggs, other projectiles, and then finally flares and fireworks. After about 15 seconds of that, multiple fireworks, multiple flares, The tear gas came out and was launched in the direction of police officers. And they are not messing around with that tear gas today. It is potent. Oh boy. Whew. So staying now on the intersection on Mackay near St. Catherine. I'm going to try to advance it a little bit, but I'm going to hang back a little bit because the tear gas is in the air. Man alive. Whew. All right. Right, police officers now advancing on Mackay. Hey, what's going on?
I'm a journalist now.
Congratulations, you've been tear gassed. So we've got about 36 riot police officers now advancing down Mackay. After a heated exchange of fireworks, flares, and in response by police, tear gas. Going to advance a little bit now as the riot police pick up their pace and descend down Mackay. Whew. Ah. So we had a sort of heated moment there as rocks, flares, and fireworks were being launched in the direction of police. Police took a moment to react because you had a very large group assembled there in front of Station 20. So they did not immediately launch tear gas. And I did see one riot police officer guiding another who was holding a launching weapon, trying to point him in the direction of maybe somebody that he thought was firing some of these flares or fireworks, but finally the tear gas came out. Heading south now towards René-Lévesque and Mackay. You good, Jerry? You good? Going to stay on the sidewalk here because we don't have a very large contingent of protesters and traffic isn't blocked. So police appear to be mobilizing to block access onto Mackay, pushing the small number of people back onto René-Lévesque. You okay?
Yeah, I just fell off.
So some people continuing eastward on René-Lévesque. Police remobilizing now. So I'm going to be heading left in a moment down René-Lévesque. We've got some riot police officers who are getting picked up by the vans. So we will continue westward. And that's where the police are going. So that's where I'm going. Natalia Blaster, impressions, first time being tear gassed. How was the experience? How are you doing?
How's that, Sean Penn? Am I a journalist now?
Yeah, Sean Penn never got tear gassed. Take that.
Yeah. Oops.
So we can hear sirens in the background. I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit because it sounds like we've got another contingent a little further east here. And we've got a lot of gas up ahead. No, Natalia, I think that's just what they launched before. The other group would have moved east. So we're now trying to find the remnants of the May Day demonstration that got split up in front of Police Station 20. Police officers mobilizing ahead of us, going up de la Montagne north.
Ouais. Et quoi, j'ai pas dit
Jade, it was the, you know those canisters that let off the orange gas?
Okay.
You had that like sitting on your back
Was
of
it
your neck
sitting
for a
there?
second. Yeah, you had to like
It wasn't burning
tap
or
it
anything?
off. No, you don't have anything left
Hey,
there.
thanks so much.
Yeah, sure. It'll be on the stream. Watch it later.
Yes. Viral.
Yeah. So a lot of the riot police officers remobilizing in these vans, although the police officers on bikes continue searching, I presume, for whatever protesters are left in the downtown core. We had about upwards of 500 people in front of Station 20 on St. Catherine in a tense moment where rocks, eggs, flares, fireworks were launched in the direction of police, and police responded by launching several canisters of tear gas. People went running in all the directions, so right now trying to find out where the majority of people went. We've got MSM Check in the chat saying New York City has been marching the streets past hours, so getting word of May Day demonstrations in the Big Apple. I don't know if Montreal's got like a cute pseudonym. NYC's got the Big Apple, you got the Big Easy, you got all kinds of the names in the US. We're like the crumbling infrastructure. We're coming back up now to St. Catherine, the site of the tense standoff between police and protesters. I don't see any demonstrators, but a lot of alarmed bystanders.
How crazy the scene actually was.
So we've got a little bit of a remnant of the smell of tear gas in the street, but from what I can see, no large grouping of demonstrators, although we still have a helicopter overhead and people going about their business. So that ended very, very quickly. I'm going to keep heading east. Some of the people that I recognize from having taken part in the demonstration today are heading in that direction, so I will as well. Possible that people are going to try to reassemble at Phillips Square, which was the starting point of this demonstration. So a quick recap. This May Day anti-capitalist demonstration in downtown Montreal started at roughly 3:15 p.m. Would have been about an hour and 15 minutes ago. People started marching, mainly stayed in the McGill University area, eventually heading further west, down Sherbrooke, down Crescent, and then eventually on to St. Catherine, heading west. And when the demonstrators came to Station 20, SPVM Station 20, we saw the group stop, and then we had certain elements of the demonstration throw rocks, would appear to be eggs, flares, fireworks, a couple of smoke bombs in the direction of police. And the police responded within about 15 seconds by launching tear gas and dispersing the group. And as far as I can tell, some of the people participating in the march are now heading east back towards Phillips Square, so that's where I'm headed. And the tear gas was potent today. It varies. It varies day to day, night to night. Sometimes it's slightly weaker, but that was not the case today. Once it was lit, you felt it. Any questions, comments, whatever you got, let me know. So police still very active in the streets, vehicles, bike cops.
And somebody honking at me here because he wants to turn right.
So people now taking to the streets. So we do have a contingent that's reassembled and is now heading in the street. And the bike cops are out. Chasing them down.
Not like there's a lot of space on the trottoir, as the cop said, but I think I'll just keep walking down the street here.
So we do have some police in light riot gear on the street. So once the bike cops came from a nearby intersection, as people took to the streets again, we heard a lot of whistling from the riot cops, blowing their whistles, trying to scare people off the street. So very swift response once a small contingent took to the street once again. Still heading east on St. Catherine towards the starting point of the march, Phillips Square. Riot police now back on the ground ahead of me. First Rate 104 in the chat saying, yo, yo, sup. So we do have the riot cops now back on the ground, a couple of vans, 3 vans to be exact, stationed here. So I think there's still a sense from the police that people might try to take to the street again. So definitely see a lot of people who were in the march on the sidewalk right now, heading east. Okay, so I do see a contingent of protesters who appear to be marching on McGill College Avenue, heading north, so I'm going to try to get up ahead there. So people have reassembled. So I can hear a drum being banged up ahead. So we do have at least some remnant of the march starting up again. And here we are, McGill College Avenue, just off of St. Catherine. A small group of maybe about 100, under 100, marching north. And police officers are in tow at the rear on St. Catherine, and McGill College Avenue. So we've got about 100 people now coming up to McGill College Avenue and de Maisonneuve, and about 24 police officers on bikes and about a dozen on the ground. So after being broken up in front of Station 20 near Guy and St. Catherine, people have reassembled in a smaller group and are continuing the May Day march in downtown Montreal. Here's some cheering now, possibly because we've got another group that's going to be rejoining the march. So police are mobilizing in vehicles behind the march, and we do have riot police vans coming up McGill College Avenue. So expecting them to be deployed quite soon. Gonna run ahead here. Riot police officers in the vans arrived but have not been deployed. So they are still in the vans, and the vans are coming up behind me, heading north up to Sherbrooke on McGill College Avenue. A small group of protesters now taking a right onto Sherbrooke, heading east. Police officers on bikes coming up, and police officers in ride vans. We've got a question here from Nahara Khan saying, what was that article called? Not sure which article you're referring to, but if you're referring to any tools that may be used by the police in these demonstrations to shut them down, you may be referring either to the P6 municipal bylaw or Article 500.1 of the Quebec Highway Safety Code, which was actually invalidated in Quebec Superior Court as being unconstitutional in its use in shutting down protests. And we've got more tear gas deployed now up ahead. And riot police officers coming out in full force. Moving ahead in the same direction as police. So we had about 100 people who were still... bear with me for a moment. We got some tear gas that was deployed here. So we had about 100 people who were still marching eastward on Sherbrooke. The riot police officers came in on the vans were deployed on the ground, and then shortly thereafter, tear gas was deployed in the direction of the protesters, who then, I assume, took a right here on Robert Bourassa because we had some bike cops move in that direction. All right. Yo, Willie, where'd they go? That way? So I had an indication from another journalist that people continued moving eastward, and we do have some protesters who appear to be reassembling. I've gone for it today, I'm good. I've reached my going for it quota. So we do have more police officers shouting up ahead. Gonna move up. Getting my cardio for the day. So I think we've got an arrest going on now. So we do have somebody being detained. So we do have a police officer with his knee on the side of that person's head as he's being neutralized and zip tied.
He has blood on him.
Does he have blood on him? So police now, people forcing, whoa, press, calme-toi.
Go!
So I just got a nice bike wheel in the butt. That's always good. So police officers ordering people onto their side of the street. Identified as press. I have my press badge out, trying to take video images of an arrest in progress. I will not be moving to the other side of the road. And we still have a police officer putting his weight with a knee on the police officer with his knee on that protester. He appears to be putting considerable weight on that, and I did hear some screams that I think were coming from that person being detained. They're not going to let you through. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer, but police none too kind to people getting close right now, so I'm going to keep a reasonable distance. Anti-capitalist demonstration that was broken up with tear gas, and now we've got somebody getting arrested. Move to the side a little bit because we've got the police officers blocking the view slightly. Getting a signal from that police officer for this person to move off to the side. So anybody who's worried about my well-being, don't worry. I got a little bit of a bike wheel shoved in my rectal area by one of the police officers, but I am fine.
Is it rectal area?
Yeah, in my the rectal area. Yeah. I mean, I would rather it hadn't happened, but I'm okay. So it's fine. All right. Je suis en train de diffuser en direct une arrestation de quelqu'un qui était dans une manifestation du 1er mai.
Ah. Tu penses que c'est correct? Ouais.
Excuse-moi?
Tu penses qu'ils vont le tuer? Tu penses qu'ils vont
Non, ils vont pas le tuer, là, mais je peux vous dire que pendant qu'il mettait les coffres dessus, là, un des policiers mettait son genou sur le côté de sa tête, puis il forçait sur le trottoir, fait que c'était pas... C'était rock'n'roll un peu, là.
Ah ouais, mais qu'est-ce que tu veux? Ça fait partie de la game aussi, là. C'est rare. C'est rare pour tout le monde.
All right, so we're now on the intersection of Du Rocher and Sherbrooke. We have one person who was detained. We did see the person being kept down to the ground, and one of the officers was putting his knee to the side of that person's head as he was being zip-tied. We did hear what I think was a scream coming from that person being detained. And now the person is seated, zip-tied, and police officers are standing watch. I was attempting to film the arrest from a very reasonable distance behind the barricade of police bikes, not imposing myself in any way or coming closer, but was ordered back. And when I was not going as quickly as they would have liked, I did receive the front end of the bike in the rear. Nothing too serious, but I still think that was unnecessary. I feel tempted to stay here just a little bit longer because there are no other cameras pointed in the direction of this intervention. But we do have some people who appear to be marching a little bit further back, and more police officers coming to reinforce the line. So they do not want people coming any closer. So they are pushing people back west and not letting them come anywhere near the police intervention. So the person is being led into a police vehicle. person who was detained, now placed in a police vehicle after the police intervention. The person was zip-tied and put in the back of the car. We've got a lot of police vehicles here on the intersection of Sherbrooke and City Councillors. Rick, one arrest. And the bike cops now being redeployed on Sherbrooke. So not sure if we still have a contingent of people marching, but the police are still very present on the ground, heading west. So I'll head in this general direction, see if I can catch any whiff of people still marching or riot cops on the ground. So, quick recap. May Day anti-capitalist demonstration, which started roughly 1 hour and a half ago. People marched pretty much around the block, around McGill College Avenue, in Union, eventually heading further west down Sherbrooke, making their way to Police Station 20, at which point we had some element of the demonstration threw rocks, eggs, fireworks and flares in the direction of police officers who were reinforcing the entrance of the police station. About 10 to 15 seconds after that, we had tear gas deployed in the direction of the protesters. People dispersed in all directions, and since then police have been, as they often do when a large group like that is dispersed in downtown Montreal, going around trying to find remnants of the march. And I did witness one arrest, but nothing else so far. But police vehicles still everywhere in the general area of Phillips Square. I'm going to head towards St. Catherine to see if anybody has reassembled there. And I lost my hat. If anybody has any questions, comments, anything they'd like to say about what they've seen today, or anything May Day related, go ahead and put in the chat. I'll try to answer. And as always, check out the linknewspaper.ca for Montreal protest coverage and other breaking news, 99media.org. And please follow me on Twitter at Matt Damour. My handle is in the title of this stream. So right now I'm basically just walking around the general area of where the protest ended up, albeit in smaller numbers, to see if people have reamassed. I'm just walking the direction now of a police van that carries riot police. So just seeing there if anybody has reassembled. I can see some police officers on the ground up ahead at Phillips Square, so I'm headed in that direction. A lot of police vehicles up ahead near Phillips Square on St. Catherine Street. So just half a block away now from Phillips Square, where I can see a lot of police officers forming a line. And keep in mind, Phillips Square is the starting point from which this demonstration began about an hour and 40 minutes ago. So we do appear to have some people who are reassembled here at Phillips Square. I'm going to be moving into the square now. So repeat, we do seem to have some contingent of the May Day March that has reassembled at Phillips Square on St. Catherine. So we've got about 75 protesters here at Phillips Square. We do have a medic tent that was set up by some of the volunteers to deal with any medical situations, any injuries. Usually, that's people using Maalox mix on people's eyes when they've been tear gassed or pepper sprayed. Hey.
As-tu parlé de l'enfant qui s'est fait bousculer?
L'enfant qui s'est fait bousculer?
Oui.
Non, pas ça.
Le Canada est en train de reporter.
Ah ouais.
Si tu vas avoir des. Je sais pas si. Alexandre Paradis pourrait peut-être en donner un peu plus.
Ouais, ok, je vais y parler, merci. So hearing that there may have been a situation with a kid. Alex, quelque chose avec un kid? Quelque chose avec un enfant?
Il y a un enfant qui a été bousculé par un policier sans l'air, puis là, l'ambulance serait avec l'enfant.
Un enfant de
8 ans.
OK. Des anti-émeutes ou...
Les policiers, je ne sais pas, on vient de savoir.
OK, juste un enfant qui a été
Un enfant
bousculé.
qui a été bousculé par un policier. L'ambulance est avec.
Okay, so we're hearing eyewitness reports that there was what people are describing as a small child may have been injured by police. Not sure what the nature of that injury is, but eyewitnesses, a couple of people have told me that there was a child taken away in an ambulance. So I'm not able to independently confirm that, but a couple of people have told me that.